Hi everyone, welcome back to Ed Paris TV. Last time we talked about developing the fast twitch white muscle fibers to build functional muscle. But now we're going to talk a little bit about ligament and tendon strength and why that's so important. Today you'll see a lot of athletes, they get injured pretty often. And it has to do with the fact that the muscles are a little bit too strong for the ligaments and the tendons and how they're connected to the bones. So to develop that, so that the tendons and the ligaments can fuse with the white muscle fiber development that I talked about in the previous video. And so that that unison between the tendons and the muscles can happen in such a way where they won't tear and you'll have more durability as an athlete or martial artist. It's crucial to pay attention to this portion. If you look at cats in nature, whether they're domestic or wild cats, when they're stretching, it looks like they're just yawning. But during the stretched position, they're actually applying tension with the claws on the ground. And they're doing that during the stretched position because as predators, they're programmed to exercise the tendons and ligaments that are actually generating most of the force when they're locking the prey. And even when it comes to running, if you look at the collision of the foot of an athlete that's running, what forces that athlete forward, the propulsion that pushes them forward, is not coming from the calf. It's coming from the Achilles below the calf. So most of the force generated to propel a runner forward is not coming from the muscles, but from the tendons and ligaments. And that also translates to any other kind of collision. For martial artists, the punch, the kick, anything that has a collision, when it comes to generating force, that explosion is mostly generated from the ligaments and tendons. So for that, there's an ancient method of exercising that the Chinese developed. It's called Nei Kung. A friend of mine that I was doing a project with, very dear friend, her name is Margie, gave me this book when we were walking around New York City. We walked into a martial arts store. She picked up this book, handed it to me and says, I want you to have this. Very kind gesture, and for the rest of my life, I will be grateful because it has deeply influenced my training. It's written by Master C.K. Chu, and in the book he mentions, with the scientific evidence to back it, that the collision of the foot of an athlete propelling them forward is mostly, the generating force is mostly happening with the ligaments and tendons rather than the muscle. So we need to pay closer attention to this so that we're not just obsessing over muscle, 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 and then not having enough ligament and tendon strength. So to have the functional muscle, we need to have that proportionate strength. And then you can start to reach really freakish strength so that everything is balanced and you're not a danger to yourself. Your own strength can't be a danger to yourself. It has to be a danger to your opponent, but not to you. So keep that in mind when you're designing your training program. Look deeper into Nei Kung or Nei Gong, G-O-N-G is another way to Romanize it. So when you Google it, read up on it, take a look at some of the movements and exercises that are recommended, and you'll see how useful it can be and how you can apply those principles of deep breathing and maintaining tension during the stretched portion of an exercise to your weight training regimen as well. Okay, so that'll be another key to unlock the freakish strength and functional muscle that we're trying to achieve. All right, so have a good one, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks again, Margie. Talk to you later on Ed Paris TV. Please like and subscribe. And sayonara. Ciao.